My train pulled in on Blackfriars station, which is actually on Blackfriars Bridge, which always fascinates me as you get off the train looking up the Thames. I walked up Queen Victoria Street, heading towards the south side of St Paul's Cathedral. I decided to go this route so that I could take in the Millennium Bridge. I then made my way around to the front of St Paul's, which I still believe is the most spectacular cathedral in the country. Going along the west side, I made my way around the back of St Paul's, coming out onto Cheapside. I walked along Cheapside as far as the church of St Mary le Bow, and this is the church whose famous bells, if you are born within the sound of, make you a genuine Cockney, and I was born half a mile away. The church was actually founded as the headquarters of the Archbishops of Canterbury in 1080, but Christopher Wren had to rebuild it after it was destroyed in the Fire of London. The Germans destroyed it in World War II and it reopened in 1964. Continuing east, I came to Threadneedle Street where the Royal Exchange is. And it is an impressive sight with the skyscrapers behind it. The statue of the Duke of Wellington at its forefront of the Bank of England and Mansion House. I continued down King William Street towards the monument. To give it its full title, the Monument to the Fire of London. It is the tallest freestanding column in the world. It stands 61 metres or 202 foot and has 311 steps to the top. I carried on, heading towards the Tower of London, and popped in to All Hallows by the Tower. Now this church has a fascinating history. The figure set in the wall behind bars is of St Anthony of Egypt, one of the Desert Fathers. There are two famous Americans associated with the church, and that is John Quincy Adams, who was married there in 1797 and became the 6th President of America. The other is William Penn, who founded Pennsylvania. William Penn's father, along with Samuel Pepys, helped prevent the fire in London getting to the church, and they watched London burn from its tower in 1666. Outside is a memorial to the people of Malta and to the island itself for the sacrifices they made during the war. I continued my walk up Hart Street, coming to St Margaret Pattern's. There's been a church here, and it was probably wooden since 1067. It was rebuilt in stone around 1538, but again the Fire of London took its toll and Wren rebuilt it in 1687. Not far from there is St Olaves. St Olaves is a fine example of a medieval church which survived the Fire of London and is where Samuel Pepys and his wife are buried. Not far from here, Charles Dickens lived and often visited the church. St Olaves was a Norwegian who fought on the side of the English king against the Danes at the Battle of London Bridge. From here, I headed towards Trinity Square. Trinity Square sits on the very edge of the financial district of the City of London, And as you enter the square area, you cannot fail to be impressed by the immense building which was once the Port of London Authority. Today it is part of the Four Seasons Hotel Group, and it has luxury apartments and suites. It was built in the Bayeux art style in 1922. As you walk across Trinity Gardens, you come to the Merchant Seaman Memorial. The memorial was built in memory of all the merchant seamen who died in both wars. This section was opened in 1955 by the Queen. I crossed over Byward Street and Tower Hill towards the Tower of London itself, but I was making my way around the back of the tower towards Tower Bridge. The moat area, which you may remember had all the poppies in, had some strange woven structures, but as I looked up, you could see the Shard towering over the tower itself. I continued on towards Tower Bridge. Such an iconic piece of engineering. It was built in 1894 and it took 11,000 tons of steel. The steel on the main towers was encased in Cornish granite to give it a more ethereal effect. It's known as a bascule bridge, taken from the French word bascule to mean seesaw, and it looks over HMS Belfast and the County Hall. The Shard stands tall and the Thames flows calmly by. And we must remember that this bridge was worked on steam power up until 1976 and is still powered by oil and electricity. When the bridge opens, it opens its full 86 degrees in literally 60 seconds. I hope you've enjoyed this walk. We must do it again sometime.